Welcome to the Michigan Golfer Show. Join us each week as we explore the people, the places, and the events that shape our great game.
Hi, I'm Jack Berry, and I'm at the West Michigan Golf Show with Kevin McKinley, who is down from Treetops out of the snow. And Kevin is a real busy guy, one terrific golf professional, and also has been involved with the Patriots program of all the fellows and girls who have served our country so well and have had some tough times. And now, Kevin, tell us all about that program.
Well, interesting that we're talking about it here in Grand Rapids, because this is really where the story started. Near and dear to me, I grew up in Muskegon, and so I was at a PGA meeting one year, and Dan Rooney, the founder of the Folds of Honor Foundation, fighter pilot, PGA professional, happened to be on an airplane here, landing in Kent County Airport, and the body of Brock Buckland was on that plane. And so when I heard him tell that story, and he tells it so eloquently, and it's just an amazing story of how he was inspired, immediately I became inspired. And I'll admit that the tie-in didn't really have a whole lot to do with the military for me. Don't have a military background. I don't really have a ton of family that was in the military. The tie-in for me was the fact that it happened 30 minutes down the road from where I grew up as a kid, and
people kind of ignored it, right? I mean,
basically, yeah. That was kind of Dan's observation on this airplane, is that they brought the body off the plane, and the pilot wanted respect for that soldier and that soldier's family, and they wanted the people to stay on the plane. And Dan noticed that as he was watching this processional, everybody had gotten off that plane. And so immediately when I heard the story, I wanted to track down that family. I wanted to find the Buckland family and let them know how much that I appreciated their sacrifice. And so that is what I did. I wrote a letter immediately to the family. Dwayne and Dawn Buckland are the parents of that hero, Brock Buckland. And I contacted them and just said, hey, we're going to have an event up at Treetops. And it was an event that was already an existing event that I then turned into a Patriot Golf Day event. And it's evolved into so much more now, but I was dumbfounded when they answered that letter and said, you know what, Kevin, I know what it took to write this letter. We will be there. And then ever since, the Buckland family has come to my event every single year.
Now, when did this start?
So this was 2007 that I initially heard this speech. So that would have been a January 2007 speech. And then I began my Patriot Golf Day events in 2007 at the end of that year. So, now we're, 8 years into this thing. And it's evolved into so much more. Patriot Golf Day and Folds of Honor now has a headquarters. There's a golf course in Oklahoma that was recently built. There's a Patriots Cup that gets aired on the Golf Channel. I am lucky enough to be able to attend that every year and just kind of get re-inspired every year. And then my event happens over Labor Day weekend, and what it's evolved into, and I hope you have some listeners that are affiliated with the military and some viewers that have any military affiliation, because at my event at Treetops, what's so cool about it is that I invite anybody with military affiliation that has an affinity towards golf to come up and enjoy Treetops for the weekend. And we take care of them, and we take care of their family. We give them free lodging. We give them free golf. They are honored. They're treated like rock stars. We actually air a television show, a half-hour television show that airs regionally that shows them golfing in what I call the Patriot Shootout up at Treetops.
First annual Patriot Pro-Am with the NMPGA. This is something that I think we're going to try every year. As we speak today, in the Eastern chapter and the Western chapter, there are two other Memorial Day celebrations going on as well. And so without further ado, it gives me great pleasure, great honor to introduce my hero, your hero, Major Ed Polito.
Thank you all very much. I appreciate the opportunity to come address you this morning. I always tell people before I speak, I actually may get emotional after telling my story, and it's usually because when I got one of my blood transfusions, I got a little female blood in me, so I may cry a little bit. My wife actually likes that, but I'm here today on behalf of Major Dan Rooney, F-16 fighter pilot, PGA golf professional, and an individual that has been a hero in my eyes. Why is he so important in my life? Well, not only did he give me a job to work at the Folds of Honor Foundation, but you, along with him, provided my two young daughters, Caitlin and Kinsley, educational scholarships. The Folds of Honor Foundation provides educational scholarships to the spouses and children of the fallen and wounded. How great of an endeavor that is that we're working with the PGA of America and the USGA to make a difference in the lives of those that have served our nation and have sacrificed so much. And so as I look at you today, and as you get ready to play golf, it is so important that you understand why this endeavor is truly powerful, but it's an important element of who you are as citizens of this great country. On August 17th of 2004, I was hit by an improvised explosive device, a roadside bomb, which subsequently would lead to the amputation of my left leg. I went from 195 to 118 pounds in the hospital. In about 40 days, I was in ICU, and 180 days total at Brooke Army Medical Center in Walter Reed. So the struggles that we talk about in regards to what our service members face on the battlefield is important to let the American people know about, because you must support what we're trying to do. And it's great to know that I'm here today doing the things that I do because I was supported by you, the American people. I can water ski, I can snow ski, I actually skydive, I can play golf, I can do all of those things, but I don't do those things lightly. I think the way that I approach those things is the fact that when I was in the hospital and was injured critically and thought that I would almost die, that, you know, I knew that the American people would be there for me. Because you see, when I got hit on August 17, 2004, and I sat on that pavement, it was about 128 degrees, all I could think about is, if I die here in Iraq, who's going to take care of my little daughter? Caitlin is the most important thing in my life, and I love my wife to death, but it was that little girl who I pulled that OU Sooner cheerleader outfit out from, basically was her little picture, out of my pocket. And as I grabbed it and as I clinged to it, I thought to myself that if I die on this day, that I want her to be taken care of by you. And so as I tell you that, I just want you to know that through the Folds of Honor Foundation and what we've done in 3 years, we've provided over 450 scholarships to spouses and children of the fallen and wounded, raised $3.5 million, and we're making a difference in the lives of so many people. That we should never forget those that have sacrificed so much. We treated our Vietnam vets not with the dignity that they deserved, and so we should never make those same mistakes again. I'm here to advocate on behalf of Natasha Muncie, the Cash children who are going to go, the two boys are going to go to Duke University and Appalachian State, and I'm advocating for the Ginger Gilbert children, which some of you may have seen on television, which the father passed, of course, died in Iraq and left 5 young children behind, basically under the age of 5, actually age of 6. So my point to all of that is that in all of this that we do, we're working together to make a difference. And so for those servicemen and women who are serving our nation today, for those of those that have served our nation in the past, I want to take this time to thank all of you for the great support that you're giving us, for your great service to our nation, and for all of you PGA professionals out there. Thank you for what you're doing for Patriot Golf Day and for the Folds of Honor Foundation, because together we're making a difference. God bless you. Thank you for what you're doing for the Folds of Honor Foundation, and have a great round of golf today. God bless you.
How many people have you been getting up there for that?
So initially it was 10 people, because I wanted to do a shootout, which is an elimination shootout. We have a 9-hole par 3 course. You start with 10, you end up with 2 on the 9th hole, and then they do battle for the prize. But over time, I was like, I can't just limit this to 10 people. So last year was our high year with military-affiliated golfers, and there were 34 of them that came to Treetops, brought their families, brought their friends, brought their partners, brought their caddies, and we took care of them for a fantastic weekend.
Now, how has this evolved over the rest of the state, the whole program, and say like raising funds, where does the money go to?
So we'll talk about the evolution real quick here. Really, the grassroots of this whole idea that Dan Rooney had was the PGA Golf Professional. There's 28,000 of us all over the USA, all over America. The largest sports organization in the world is the PGA. And he said, you know what, if I can get some PGA members behind this, if I can get every PGA member at their golf courses to just simply collect $1 extra on one day out of the year from every single golfer that plays, we're going to roll in a bunch of money. And so the cause and the story is what has exploded this thing. I mean, and the Buckland story is one, but there are a lot of other stories that are out there. And so as these stories began to be told, this whole $1 extra thing became a thing of the past. And granted, if you're a PGA member watching this, that still is okay. That was the original. That's still okay. Just because you can't donate $2,000 or $7,000, $50 makes a difference. And so if you want to collect $1 extra, please do it. And so each section kind of had their stalwarts, kind of had these people that evolved that said, you know, the $1 extra isn't enough for me. I was one of those. And so we kind of created wing commanders in each of these sections. And the wing commanders were then responsible to go out and say, hey, PGA golf professionals, this cause is very worthwhile for you to do something with. And so I can't be more proud of my Michigan section, fellow PGA professionals in the Michigan section. You know, we're a section that not only is hampered by the weather. You know, we don't have a year-round golf season. We have a 7-month golf season. So that gives us less opportunity to be able to have these events. We sandwich so much into our seasons in Michigan that one more event on somebody's schedule will sometimes muddy it up a little bit. So we have to get extremely creative when we go out and we try to have these events. But this past year, the numbers just came in, and as an entire section, we raised $201,000 in the season of 2014. And you think about all the different sections, there's 41 all over the country. Think about all the sections that have warm weather climates and how long they get to be able to try to raise money for the Folds of Honor. Michigan was ranked 7th amongst those 41 sections, and I think that is an unbelievable accomplishment. Most of the sections that raised more money either had one club that just donated a ton of money, and a lot of times what happens is there's one member that just said, man, this is a great cause, here's a bunch of money. Or it's a warm weather section that just has a ton of time to be able to donate. So for Michigan to be 7th in the nation, I couldn't be more proud. And one that I want to call out is Western Country Club does a huge Patriot Golf Day. And you know, you think of you think flattery of what flatters yourself in the golf business, and it's when somebody sets out to beat your pants. And that's what Western Country Club did, and there's several people behind that. Phyllis Barone, Vartan Kopalian, Ken Devine, that really drive that Western Country Club event. And this year, for the first time ever, Treetops was dethroned as the top money raiser. And I can't be more proud. I had a smile on my face when I found that out, because I want people like that to be inspired. And you know, maybe it's something I said, maybe it's something Dan Rooney said, maybe it's something that Major Ed Polito said that got these people a fire in their belly. But this year, for the first time, I am really proud to say that we got beat. And now next year, I'm going to try to beat their pants off. So
now, where does that money go to? What happens with it?
So Folds of Honor Foundation is the charity that takes all this money. Online, you can go to foldsofhonor.org. If you happen to be a family that had a military person be injured, and you have kids, or you're the spouse of that military, or killed in action, either way, injured or killed, then you can go on to foldsofhonor.org and apply for a scholarship. And these scholarships are in $5,000 increments. There are several different ways to get scholarships. There's future use scholarships, so somebody that maybe is 5 years old could potentially have a scholarship set up in their name that then earns money all the way up until when it's time for them to actually go to college. Or maybe your dad or your spouse was killed just recently and you are already a college student, or you're thinking about going to college. There's immediate use scholarships as well. So $5,000 increments, and I will tell you that for the first time ever, the Folds of Honor had to turn away some scholarship applicants this year. So the need is so great, and it's not because they didn't raise a bunch of money. They've raised more money every single year that this has been in existence, but the need is so great out there.
Unfortunately, there's an awful lot of wounded and fellows and girls who have been killed in action in this country.
Yeah. So my role in the Michigan section is the Patriot Golf Day chairman. I'm the secretary of the section as well. So I am able to do a lot of things at the section level that really gets the word out to my fellow PGA golf professionals. But if you're a PGA golf professional, if you're not a PGA golf professional, you are somehow affiliated with a golf course and you want to get involved with Patriot Golf Day, easiest way, you can go online and you can look through foldsofhonor.org, and it actually is very easy to sift through that. But if there are any questions, I welcome phone calls, I welcome emails. You can get a hold of me up at Treetops, McKinley@treetops.com. Just give me a call, and I will help you and walk you through, how you might be able to make a difference as well.